Hello, I'm Joshua Hutchison, and I want to start with a simple thought. A piece of trash dropped here in the Mid South doesn't just stay here. It can travel through the Wolf River, into the Mississippi River, and eventually much further than any of us probably thought. Today, I want to talk to you about protecting the Wolf River. This matters to me personally. I've spent time kayaking the river, hiking the trails, and being out in those areas as often as possible. And whether you spend time outdoors like me or not, this affects all of us in this region. First, I'll explain the problem. Then, I'll introduce a solution, show what could happen depending on what we do, and finally, talk about how you can help. The issue is simple, but the impact is not. A lot of the litter and pollution we see doesn't stay where it starts. It moves, it flows into places like the Wolf River, then into the Mississippi, and from there, it keeps going. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's National Rivers and Streams Assessment, that was reported in 2023, found that many rivers and streams across the United States are in poor condition due to pollution and negative human impact. So something as small as a bottle or wrapper from our area can become a much larger environmental issue. The reality is, many people either don't think about it or they assume individual actions don't matter. Some people may not care. Others think one small action won't make a difference. But when thousands of people think that way, it adds up quickly. The good news is there is something already in place locally. It's right here in our area. The Wolf River Conservancy is a nonprofit organization based in Memphis that works to protect land along the Wolf River and preserve it for public use. According to the Wolf River Conservancy's About Us page, accessed in April of 2026, the organization has helped protect over 20,000 acres of trails, greenways, and access points for the public. And their work focuses on conservation, protecting natural spaces, and making sure the river remains accessible for activities like hiking, running, bird watching, biking, kayaking, and many other leisure activities. So instead of this being an unsolved problem, there's already a group actively working towards a solution. Let's take a moment to picture two possible outcomes. If people become more mindful and support efforts like the Wolf River Conservancy, we continue to have cleaner water, protected land, and places where people can get outside and enjoy nature. Organizations like the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, emphasize that protecting waterways support ecosystems, public health, and long-term environmental stability. That means that trails stay open, the river stays usable, and future generations get to experience what we have today, a natural area within reach. On the other hand, if nothing changes, the opposite starts to become more apparent. Pollution continues to build up, water quality declines, natural spaces become harder to maintain, and over time, access to these areas could be reduced or lost. So this is about the environment in general. It isn't about the environment in general. It's about something local that we can actually see change over time. The good part is helping doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to give up a lot of time. You don't have to spend money if you don't want to. It can start with something as simple as being more mindful of your own actions, not littering, picking up something if you see it, being aware that small choices can lead to larger consequences. If you want to do more, you can volunteer or support organizations like the Wolf River Conservancy. You can donate. But even small actions matter when enough people take part. There's an old saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But that's not how this works. What happens here doesn't stay here. It moves, it spreads, it adds up, it grows, even festers. So the next time you see a piece of trash, pick it up and remember what you've heard here today. Trash and litter add up to something large. So too can your impact. Thank you.